Days Gone has been remastered, and with that we've got some new game modes, features, some graphical changes that we'll be checking out in this video with the comparison to the original version. But here's the real question, is the remaster worth it? And more importantly, what does this mean for Days Gone 2? Well, let's talk about that. And yeah, subscribe to my channel for more Days Gone related content. Now firstly, we'll be checking out the graphical changes, for which I have installed both the remastered and the original Days Gone. Plus both of them are being tested on a laptop with the same specifications. So if you look at the remaster footage, you will notice how it's much more darker when compared to the original footage. Which is also why in some scenes you can barely see anything in the background. And yes, the same goes for the shadows, it's much more darker, especially the ones you can see on the characters. Like look at the scene, there's nothing wrong with it, it's just I want you guys to see the difference when I switch to the remastered image. Now here's the remastered one, where you can clearly see the shadows on the face and even on his clothes. And that, my friends, makes this scene even more dramatic. But if you notice, there's something different in almost all the scenes in this remaster. I'm talking about the bloodstains on the clothes of Deacon. For some reason, the bloodstains he got from killing one of the person earlier in the scene has simply been removed. And honestly, I was confused why the developers would do that. But then after doing a lot of research, I found out that it's actually a bug. Yes, it's an old bug that's still not fixed even in the remastered update. Still, I will give them credit because in many of the remastered cutscenes, I saw more blood when compared to the original game. Like here in the scene, you will see some blood on Leon's left hand, but in the original, it's actually missing. Now, with all those changes, you might have also noticed that Deacon finally has a flashlight on him, which was also missing from the original game, and now in the remastered, it's finally added. Now, I know these are very minor changes, but it does help improving the overall cutscene. But still, moving forward, the remastered game now looks more gritty when compared to the original version. In fact, many people are saying the developers just did some color grading changes and we got the remastered update. And to be honest with you, to a certain degree that might be true, because the remastered version for some reason looks more bluish with a cool tint. But my friends, when you compare that with the original game, then you will realize it looks more warm. Now honestly, what you like is based on your preference, but I do like the remastered look of the game. Still, with the enhanced graphics update, don't expect something groundbreaking. These changes are honestly very minor unless you switch from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, because that's when you will notice major changes. Plus, one thing to note here is that they've increased the view distance of the game. So the background in the remastered will look way more detailed when compared to the original, especially with the increased saturation and sharpness. So now that you've seen the enhanced graphics, it's time we check out the new game mode that was added in this remastered update. We're talking about the Horde Assault, a new game mode where you basically fight hordes of zombies. And to enter the game mode, you can select this option from the main menu, after which you will be asked to choose one of the maps. Now at first, you'll be able to only play on Cascade map, where you need to beat the target score of 400k, and only after that the second map will unlock. So let's just play the first map, where before entering you will be asked to pick a character and some injectors. Now picking a character has no change to your experience, so you can go with anyone, but the injectors do play an important role. I say that because if you choose the negative injector, then you, my friend, will get a debuff. So for example, if you pick slow healing, then all the items you have in the game will heal you very slowly. But because this makes your game difficult, you will also get 20% more bonus to your final score. Another one is called the fragile weapons, that makes your melee weapons break easily, but again you will get 10% more bonus points for it. Now these were the negative injectors, but if you pick a positive injector, then you will get some good buffs, like the unlimited stamina injector that does what the name says. You will never lose any stamina ever again, but because of this you will get a penalty, which means you will lose 20% of your points from the final score. Another injector is called exploding freakers, which is my favorite because every time a freaker dies, it literally explodes and kills the hordes of freakers that were around it. So if you see a horde coming, then just shoot at it and boom, all the hordes die instantly, because the other ones that die also explode, killing others around them. It's honestly the most powerful and fun injector, but still you will lose 15% of your points from the final score. And please don't try to kill a freaker when it's really close to you, because it will do damage to you as well and will definitely kill you. So yeah, since you have 3 slots for the injectors, you can pick any 3 from either the positive or the negative side. My suggestion would be to go for 2 negatives and 1 positive. So now when you start the game, you will spawn in the middle of the road with the hordes coming after you. So clear them out with your SMP9 that you will get in the first map. Make sure to use that weapon because the other weapons won't be of much use at the beginning. Now after clearing the zombies, you can go to your bike, and while you're doing that, another horde will spawn almost instantly, which is also why I recommend you to open the map and go to these loot places that you see marked on the map. These places actually have a weapon crate that can be unlocked after having a certain amount of points. So if you have enough points, you can open them and they will give you 3 3 options. So it can be a gun, a throwable item, some ammo, a healing item, or an option to boost the score. Personally, I always try to get myself a good weapon first and then I would go for the ammo or healing items. So if you get yourself an MG45, then you, my friend, have some crazy luck. I say that because that weapon helped me so much during my playthrough that it can really save you from the hordes. But what will not save you is you running away from the hordes, because they will spawn anywhere you go. Even when you're riding your bike, they will spawn in front of you. Anyways, after defeating a horde, you will get few seconds or minutes before the horde can spawn again. So use this time to craft items or search for more supply boxes. Plus, make sure to always do the side jobs that you will get on the top left, because they will give you some bonus points and you will need that. So just keep defeating the horde until you beat the target score, after which if you want to end the mission, then you can just die from the hordes. I say that because the hordes won't stop coming until you are dead. Now you can switch to the second map and you will realize you have a new loadout and the time or the weather is different. Rest everything is pretty much same, just the target score is increased. So again, reach the target score, beat the hordes, collect all the loot items and finish all the map just like that. Plus, do remember to give the injectors a try. Trust me, you will love it. Now personally, I love the new Horde Assault, but it's also kind of similar to the challenges we have in Days Gone. And honestly, both in my opinion are great, and regardless of what I played, I still had fun killing hordes of zombies for hours. But still, some people might struggle with it, and I say that because managing a freaker horde is tough, but managing your online store shouldn't be. That's where today's sponsor, Waleedoo, comes in. The all-in-one business management platform that helps you build, manage and grow your online store with ease. And to make it more exciting, Waleedoo helps you launch a full e-commerce website in minutes with no technical knowledge. Yep, I'm not kidding. With the help of Waleedoo's AI-powered configurator, you can build the structure of your website based on just a few questions. And once you're done with that, all you have to now do is add content using the intuitive drag and drop function that allows you to truly make this website yours. And when it comes to creating product pages, then it's really as simple as typing in the name and price. Now from there, you can also customize the page by adding images, a description, and changing the layout to match your brand. So yeah, you've got full control of everything. After that, Waleedoo walks you through setting up some essentials like the VAT number, a bank info, invoice design, and etc. Then to get you ready for sales, Waleedoo helps you configure your shipping methods and payment providers in just a few clicks. And here's the best part, Waleedoo gives you your first app completely free for life. That includes unlimited hosting, support, and even a personalized domain name free for an entire year. Plus, when you're launching an e-commerce site, Waleedoo includes both the website and invoicing apps automatically. So basically, you're getting 2 core apps right out of the gate for free, which means with the help of Waleedoo, you can go from an idea to income without any upfront cost or complicated tools. So whether you're selling a custom art, digital services, or even drop shipping, Waleedoo has your back. Just click on the link in the description or from the pinned comment to start today. Now let's get back to our main topic, where now we'll look at some new features that's been added in this new update. The first one is Speedrun Mode, where now if you start a new game, you'll get an option to choose the Speedrun Mode, which basically adds a timer next to your screen that simply records how long it took you to finish the game. And no, this does not count when we are in the cutscene. It basically follows the rule for a speedrun, and I think the speedrun community will really appreciate this update. Then we get another feature similar to this known as the Permadeath Mode, where if you start a new game from the menu, you will get an option to choose this Permadeath Mode. And basically after choosing it, you will get 2 more options. Like for example, if you die in the game, do you want to reset the whole save, or do you want your character to respawn to the start of a current act? So if you choose whole game and if you die, your save will be erased instantly. Yes, it's basically the true permadeath mode for the challengers. But let's say if you choose act, then when you will die, you will spawn at the beginning of that particular act. And that, my friends, is basically this game mode. Now we'll look at the new changes to the photo mode, which has really received some good advanced features for the players. So let me show you what's been added. So it's time we check out the new photo mode. Firstly, for people that really love taking screenshots, we actually have a new frame here. So if you want to check it out, you can definitely do that. So now you know there's a new frame. So yeah, this is a new lighting feature. What this allows you to do is set the time of day to whatever you want, from day to night, whatever you want. Like, look at that shot. It looks good already, but because it's almost night, right? You can't see Deacon properly, and that is why you have this new option called key light. You can switch to fill light, you can switch to backlight. It's the presets, right? But you go for key light, turn it on. Look at that. Oh, you could already see, right, what happened. I don't want to, okay, I can switch my camera and show you right there. You see there's a light. What you can do with the light is obviously, firstly, you can increase the intensity. You don't want to do that. It will be super bright if you do that. You can increase the spread so you can see how far it goes. I'll just zoom out to give you an idea. Again, we want to just keep it this much. Softness you can increase. I'll keep it right here. Distance, what you can do is you can see how far you want the key light. You want it too far for the soft light, or do you want to get it super close? That's what a lot of TikTokers do. But now, you usually want to go to a perfect distance. What you can also do is, adjust the height for it, like up and down for the altitude right there. You can do it like that. Or you can also rotate it around him. So you want the light behind him, you want the light up front, you want on the other side. You can do all of that. That is so good, right? So now you can see the light is coming from the top. Not looking bad. But for the editors, obviously you can always turn this off, get a picture like that, then turn it on and get a picture like that. Works like that. Intensity, let's increase that. We can see him more clearly. Where's the distance? It's a pretty cool feature. Really good for someone like me who likes to make thumbnails. So I really like to get like up close thumbnails. Now I could do that. Thank you so much, Ben Studio. This is amazing. Now, the final thing that's been added in this update is accessibility features for the players that may need it. Like you can change the color for Deacon, the HUD, for enemies, and even for the interactable items. Plus, if you're on PlayStation 5 and you pre-ordered the remastered version, then you, my friend, will be getting the pre-order bonuses such as few avatars and some early unlockable items for free. Also, do not forget about the new achievements that's been added with this update. Now, what does this remastered version mean for Days Gone 2? Well, firstly, many people would know that Days Gone 2 was cancelled, and it was cancelled internally way before Ben Studio could ever reach Sony about it. And since then, people have been speculating and asking the studio for a sequel, and from the replies, it looks like they want another sequel for this game. But according to the reports, Sony was against the idea of a sequel. They basically saw this game as a failure, also because of the fact that during its launch, the critics were too harsh on this game. Even though to some degree they were right, because the game was in a bad state during its launch. But also, let's not forget, when it got fixed, it was only years later that everyone started calling this game underrated. In fact, according to the game director of Days Gone, the game sold over 8 million copies on PlayStation 4 in just 1.5 years. Which honestly, if you ask me, is a really good number, but according to him, Sony studio management made them feel like it was a big disappointment. And also for years, we got many leaks suggesting that Ben Studio was working on a new game. But sadly, later it turned out to be a completely new IP which had nothing to do with the Days Gone. But earlier this year in 2025, Sony announced that they had cancelled 2 major PlayStation projects. And also during the same time, we got rumors about a remaster coming for Days Gone, which as you know was later confirmed, and today we all are enjoying the game. Now, this remastered Days Gone can really reignite the flame for Days Gone 2. I'm being honest, if the remastered is a success, then Sony Studios might consider a possibility for a sequel. Plus, because the community has been asking for this for years, a sequel for this game would really benefit the studio. So yeah, let's support the studio and this remastered version of Days Gone. And hopefully one day Sony would realize there's actually a need for a sequel. Now, we have come to the end of the video, where I've actually shared everything I can about the remastered game or the Broken Roads DLC, which technically is the same thing. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more Days Gone related content. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, stay safe and watch out for the freakers.